It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
That's all I got for the topic here. So let's go on to kind of like what we're looking forward to. What's coming up this next week? So next
Death
week,
and destruction.
we will not be here. The apocalypse is on. Apocalypse now.
That was a good movie.
I've never seen it.
It was a good movie.
I've never seen it.
You're not old enough to watch
I know.
it yet.
I don't. It's too.
I'll
adult.
let you know when
It's
you're
too
old
adult.
enough to watch it.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
But no, what's happening next week? Not really. I mean, nothing much.
Game-wise, not a lot.
Yeah,
This week's been kind of boring too. Although Final
haven't liked the
Fantasy's
PlayStation
around a
Store
corner.
yet.
Final Fantasy's around a corner. Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 15. I already have that paid off, ready to go. Can't wait.
It's got VR.
It does have a little bit of VR. I don't know how good that's going to be.
I heard
to
it's
be
real
honest.
bad.
I'm not particularly.
Yeah, I've heard it's real bad.
I don't really care
from
about
all
that.
the
I just want to play
reviewers.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
I think we finally because Titanfall, Call of Duty was kind of like the last round other than Final Fantasy, and then because I think everything else
got pushed.
got pushed.
Yeah.
So I think December is
There's
going
a
to be
shit ton of stuff in January, February time coming out, March time. Remember Horizon was the big one. That's been pushed.
The two games I'm excited for in the future is Horizon and For Honor. For Honor, I played the alpha and I fell in love with that game.
I still haven't played that yet.
It's so dumb looking. Oh, I got into the. I think I can talk about this. I got into the Steep beta.
Oh,
again. So I was in the alpha. I can't talk about what I played in the alpha because NDAs and all that kind of stuff. But I got into the beta. Let's just say I don't enjoy that game at all. I'm not going to buy that game.
Which game?
Steep.
Oh, I thought you said
For Honor.
For Honor beta. I'm just confused.
No. Yeah, For Honor I love. I got into For Honor.
There was no
Steep
break.
is
You just
the-
went straight into Steep, and we got totally confused.
Same developer.
Yeah.
Steep is a snowboard game.
That's the snowboard one.
Yeah,
I was going to
it's
say.
the one at the end of Ubisoft. They're like, here's our new IP, and I was like, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as bad as it looked. Versus For Honor
Ubisoft
was actually pretty good. You were playing with me with that, were you?
No, that was
It was James and David, and I give Weezy the other one.
Yeah, I think the only other thing is mods for console, like PS4
Yes,
mods.
Skyrim came out recently. I know David's been playing a lot of that.
Yeah, they're finally letting mods happen on
Very
Fallout.
restrictive.
Which is great. We had a rant at those guys for a while, and I'm happy they finally came and saw their senses on that, and now we can have shooting Randy Savage from bazookas.
Well, it has to be so for consoles. It has to be things that are already in the game, so you can't put a separate art asset in there.
Oh, really?
Yep. So you can't shoot Randy Savage on the
So it
console.
still sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
But if it's like
good. You do it.
Yeah.
tweaking the graphics and things
Yeah,
like that,
that's all in game.
That's the stuff that I'm really excited about because
lighting
they've
effects.
managed to make some of those games look as realistic as you could possibly imagine.
I wonder what the I keep looking at the PlayStation is right here, but what the approval process is that how hard is that on your system?
So from what I've read, because
I've
I've
not
watched
looked into it.
I've watched a lot of people do this because there's a couple people that I watch that do mod weekly shows and whatnot. The approval process, there's the Steam stuff that they can just throw up and it goes. But you basically can take whatever's on Steam and then send it over to Bethesda. If it's the right size, and because it has to be like a small sized mod, then if they approve it, it'll go right in there and you can download it. The only issue with that is because Bethesda doesn't authenticate with other people. There's been a huge piracy issue where people are actually taking other people's work and sending it over to mods.
Oh, and posting
and
it as their own.
And I think that's
Going to be a big
another.
issue.
Well, I think that's what kind of was there at the beginning to stop them from sending over because they couldn't stop people from taking other people's work.
Saying this, yeah.
And I think it doesn't seem that hard from everybody that I've talked to. It's been pretty simple. Like as long as it's the right size and they kind of spell out all the requirements. And there's a couple people out there that are figuring ways to get around that size and rebuild mods to make them much smaller that do broader things, so you can bring over the best of the best from the mod world over onto the consoles. And that's something that people are really looking forward to.
I'm excited. I know I'm a PlayStation guy, but if I were to get Skyrim right now, I probably would get on Xbox just because you have 5 gigabytes to work with versus 1. But talking to David, he said most of the mods are teeny tiny, so it really doesn't matter. But who knows in the future what's going to happen with that? And right now, Microsoft seems to be the friendlier one when it comes to allowing mods. So
Which
maybe
is crazy.
Yeah. So maybe down the road, Horizon's going to have. I know this is probably not going to happen, but Horizon has mods or. Elder
I don't know if
Scrolls
there'll be
6.
mods for Horizon because isn't Horizon a PS exclusive?
That's what I'm saying. you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to have mods. Well,
That would
on
be
PS4,
God, that'd be amazing.
you can only have 1 gigabyte, but maybe they expand the size of the mod to being 500 megabytes. Well, then you got 2 mods versus on an Xbox you can have 5 gigabytes.
Did they ever mod Elder Scrolls Online?
No,
Because you can't really do that, can
you
you?
couldn't because it's a public
Right.
server. That's why like with GTA, here little GTA fun fact, you cannot use mods or cheats on GTA Online or you will get kicked off. You can use them on single player because that does not affect anybody else. Which I think that's fine because if you're fucking with somebody else's game, it's not cool. That's where I think it's.
And that is the world of people fucking with other people's games.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you the time I was playing online on PC and I was standing in my garage and all of a sudden just money rained down on my head. Like randomly just money kept dropping. I was like, I ended up getting I think $32 million in a matter of 12 minutes.
Nice.
I spent it before Rockstar knew what was going on. I was kind of concerned though because I didn't know if they're going to be like, where did you get this money from?
I don't think it's your fault if someone makes
He
it
literally
rain
made
on
money rain on my head. Like my garage was full of money bags at one point, and I was like, "This is cool."
Yeah,
Or
there's
the money stacks.
or there, the consoles, like there's people who can glitch it and stuff like
Yeah.
that, so they don't necessarily need to mod it. I think I was playing with Tegrado, and we went in. He was in his garage. Somebody had glitched into his garage and was killing him in the garage.
Yeah.
And it's like people will find a way, even if there isn't a mod that they can do. There's a glitch or
People
some
are just
sort of,
assholes, is what it comes down to.
right. There's gonna be a way for someone to be like, and you're dead.
I hope they don't mess with that new remaster of Modern Warfare. Because the remaster of Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare, was ruined by modders. And you'd show up at a game, like, I remember Modern Warfare 2, I had so many of the little banners and titles, and I was like Prestige 8 or something. And then I joined some fucker's game, and everything went away.
I might have had a modded controller for Modern Warfare 2.
Modded controller is different, I think.
Yeah, but I can shoot a lot quicker.
Yeah,
I could shoot close to I actually was really good at that game in college, but I could shoot probably 4 to 5 times quicker than the average person, which is good for me because I'm already slow, so it kind of leveled out. But
yeah, there's a bunch of companies that you can buy controllers that they're like the pro controllers that have like switches and stuff like that, and you can change how much like
you have to
button.
pull the.
Yeah, so there's ones that you can like crank it almost all the way down, and it's got a massive spring, and it's all you have to do is click it, and it just immediately just starts firing stuff, and you can remap certain buttons, and it's so you're like
it's more for like esport and stuff
I used to make
that,
so my controller
Call
had
of Duty mainly,
yeah. My controller had triggers on the bottom, kind of like the pro controller or the elite controller for Xbox.
Yeah.
And I would just use that as grenades, and then the right side was reload because that way I didn't have to move.
Have you seen that new Pro PS4 controller?
Which one? There's the one that they officially licensed,
weirdly shaped
and then there's
one.
a couple other ones.
The official one.
The official one I have. I've seen obviously all three.
Bizarre shape
Yeah.
to it, kind of like disjointed almost.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan. No, I think Sony would have to come out and actually make one, but I don't think the DualShock is that bad. The only complaint I have is the joysticks. People have a lot of issues. I know you have issues with them.
Mine
the
just
rubber
squeaky.
tearing off.
Yeah. I've not had any issue with mine yet. So
Yeah. Both of mine have it.
yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
I'm pretty convinced it's like a quality control issue at this point.
Well, for me, I've had my PlayStation probably a year after it, like maybe about 2 years now, and like the only issue I have is like the vibrate motors are slowly going out because I can feel that. Like I'll be playing a game like a shooter Division or something like that, and I'll be shooting and I can just feel it just like and so it's like there's nothing going on. I'm like, this doesn't feel the same. Okay, there it's back. And I was like, just shake it for a moment.
Well, was it Brian that like one of his triggers didn't work, so like it would work every so often? We're like, attack him. He's like, I'm trying, and it just didn't work. I think it's
Those controllers have had a few problems. I think I'm not super big fan of the amount of difficulties those DualShock.
But I love them way more than as somebody who didn't play DualShock 2 and 3. I love the feel of these controllers from somebody who switched from Xbox to PlayStation. Wonderful.
I think PlayStation fanboys that have been using them throughout the years always felt like our controllers were superior because they were smaller and they're just easier to handle.
I love 360.
We had a guy comment on one of their things the other day saying you can only play Tony Hawk correctly with a PlayStation controller.
And I responded, I've never played it on PlayStation. I've only played it on Xbox.
Yeah, because you suck.
Whoa.
I liked the Xbox controller for the simple fact that it was
Xbox or 360. Because 360, I think, was the better version of it.
The only really reason I liked the 360 more than the Xbox is because it had the battery part where I could actually kind of like tuck my fingers and kind of get a better grip. the one thing with the PlayStation controllers, and I've liked them, is just because I can actually wrap my hands completely around them, and I don't have to let go. Whereas like I can just kind of move certain fingers. Where like the bigger the controller, or like the more oddly shaped, and the 360 and the Xbox One controllers kind of get to that point where it's like there's nothing for me to kind of grip, and so if I play the game long enough, and my hand gets sweaty, like everybody's hands get sweaty.
Did you ever have those controllers with the fans in them? Because they used to have those back in the day.
I had that once, and like it died on me in a week because it was Mad Cats or something.
Yeah, mine was Mad Cats, like see-through green.
But
I
like,
have to go official. I can't do third-party controllers.
It was cheaper.
Well,
but yeah, it was just like I've always liked the PlayStation controllers a little bit more, just because I can wrap my hands around them and actually play them. The Xbox controllers, and just throughout the years, the only time I've ever like truly liked it was the 360. That's just because I could kind of.
I hate the triggers on the Xbox One. I know people love them. I hate them because for shooters it makes sense. For racing it does not, because it's not. You don't get to go as far as you want to. And the other thing, one of my concerns right now with PlayStation 4 is I've not had an issue yet, but rechargeable batteries. At some point, they're not going to be able to hold a charge.
Mine's already starting to do that.
It doesn't say how long is that going to be, especially if somebody like I keep my brightness up now because I have the VR, so that way if I play a VR game, I don't have to go into my settings and change it. But
yeah,
how long does that last?
The battery is actually fairly simple to replace inside the.
This guy mod stuff.
Yeah, it's actually quite simple.
We need to fix our what was it 64? You need to fix that for us. We need to get the petroleum jelly out. Tom one time texted his wife. He's like, "Do we have petroleum jelly?" And Jess was like, "Why?" He's like, "Me and Keegan need some." And I can only imagine what her face looked like.
It's probably like this, like,
what's happening?
God damn it, Keegan.
She's come to accept these things.
But yeah, there's actually a big section of people who have had, the joysticks go out, the triggers go out, batteries, all that kind of stuff. The only thing that the battery itself is just a quick pop out and pop in, thankfully. But it's the other stuff that you have to resolder and reattach.
My touchpad's gotten a little smoother just over time of me, because in Elder Scrolls, yeah, it's the map in Elder Scrolls. So I touch it in the same spot, so it literally is just smoothed out where I've touched it every time.
Yeah, so I was gonna say my joysticks, I haven't had those wear out on me. They're completely fine.
Dude, it's the rubber. Yeah.
I can't pull it up here, but there you go. It's rubber. You won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yours are probably worse of anybody's I've seen, so I don't know if it's a you thing.
It's not. I swear to God. I've been on the forums, and there's lots of people that have the same problem with that rubber there. Just at the bottom of the left stick, it's always the same place. It just kind of tears easy and opens up.
That's what she said.
Both of my controllers have.
Yeah.
Have you gotten the little condoms for them?
No.
Have you heard of those? You can buy them at GameStop.
Have you heard of condoms?
They're little silicone mats that you can put on them, and there's also extenders for people who have bigger hands, so you can actually extend the reach for your thumbs, so it's a little more comfortable.
My thumbs don't go very far.
I feel like
so. Yeah.
I feel like we're in bonus level right now talking about controllers.
We've definitely moved past
the 4K
regular territory.
I think it's interesting when it comes to the controllers, because
that makes the system. If the controller is not comfortable, you're not going to have people who want the system.
Yes,
that was the major reason they redid the original Xbox's controllers. The Duke, because people could. I love that controller just because it was so big.
Now I do. When I was a kid, I didn't.
I loved it regardless.
Because my hands were too tiny.
I still hate it.
Yeah. Well, you know why they made it that big? Because the logic board, the board they had inside, they couldn't make it small enough. The board is underneath that Xbox.
Then get a better engineer, Microsoft.
They did, shortly after that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They fixed the problem.
The only reason I truly like that the Xbox, the original, the Duke, is because I played Phantasy Star Online way too much. My parents were like, "Why am I paying for this game?" You don't stop. But
never ends.
But because everything kind of fit nice flush on that controller, and I could play that for hours and hours, and I never felt like my hands got cramped. Whereas and it's not so much now.
Now you feel like your knuckles touch.
Yeah, the controller's a little bit smaller. My hands are much bigger than they were back then.
Yeah.
But for long-term gaming,
big hands, big gloves,
big fingers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, I was the opposite. When I first got the Duke controller, I hated it because I got the original Xbox, and that was that. That's
the one sitting over there.
Yeah, it's actually the one right over there, and that's actually the original controller. I have an S controller somewhere, but it doesn't work because I played it so much that I literally had worn it out.
Yeah. We got to do some messing with some of the, I'm hopefully moving to a different place at some point here soon, and we're gonna have a proper setup where I clean up.
You should support us on Patreon to help Tom's
vintage
move.
selection.
Yeah.
Help me move. Yes, just a
No,
couple
His
100,000
mortgage
should do it.
payment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's funny if you. I'm gonna go nostalgic here for a second because we're talking about the old games, but
Go ahead, Sonny.
we started this almost 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago now.
We started this
February.
gangster shit, and this is the motherfucking thanks we get.
I'm done. February 5th of 2014.
This is self-life because I got that reference.
2015, because we're in 2016 now. February 5th, 2015 was when we started.
Almost 2 years. I remember
yeah.
that day. I was probably one of your only people that watched consistently.
Probably.
I still kind of watch.
Yeah.
And then
Roxy was too. Roxy, Charming Cuisine follows us.
I just get really bored of your voice
Yeah.
because I have to listen to it almost every time I play a game.
Yeah. That's true. But no, it's funny because like when we started, I bought the Super Nintendo we have because
No, two.
yeah, well now yeah, but
So
I
I
bought it at the time because I wanted it for the show, and it's kind of expanded. Like you bought you bought a lot of the consoles, but I brought my Xbox over so we could have it for the show. I mean, Tegrado.
Your NES.
Yeah, my NES. Well, my NES is at my house.
Yeah,
now.
it was here for.
But it was here. But then Tegrado gave us an Xbox One for the show. Like our goal is to eventually have all of them. So I'd love the retro games because that's what we grew up on. Your retro is a little bit more retro than my retro.
We're gonna be getting more into that. I think it's definitely something that will probably show up more on like Friday videos and stuff, where we'll just go like deep into the retro past for some things, or
go to yesteryear. The only thing we don't have is an Atari. I think because we have.
I've looked at several, but I haven't picked one up.
We have
yet.
quite a few.
I found a few people who have Ataris.
There's a few. Yeah, we don't have a Sega CD. Our 32X. We don't have.
Those are on my wish. Yeah, the Sega CD and the 32X. Those are so hard to come by, and not the system themselves, but the cables. Because for some reason Sega loved cables. Yep. And that was like I've come across so many at like decent prices, but it's like no power cable or no connector cable, so it's just a useless
unit.
Yeah, but like,
can you not buy like knockoff versions on Amazon? I've had to buy most of my like AV cables and stuff.
They were
Amazon.
very
well, hello.
The cables themselves, I have not. No one's like, I guess because people just don't care, and there's not a whole lot of money in it because there's so few.
Yeah,
most people
I could see that.
don't produce those kind of cables anymore, and they were very rare to begin with because the 32X wasn't around very, very long before they nixed it and went on to the next.
It up.
Right. Well, they kept trying to make the Genesis a thing
because the Genesis was so good. That's why.
First attempt at a modular upgrade to a console, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the CD did fairly well. Not like great, but it did fairly well, and it literally just attach it. The very first version, you just kind of slid it on top, and then the second version, you slid it to the side. And then you could play your CDs and things like that. That became a lot of people's very first stereo, and it was just fantastic. And I think if they would have just released a CD console before that and just kind of nixed it, or at least kind of created one that did all of it, I think there was.
As opposed to making it an add-on.
Yeah.
Right. There was the Generation 3 Genesis that did all of them, and I think that's where they should have just skipped to.
Were they limited by the? I don't know much about the Sega CD because I was not a Sega guy. Were they limited by the chips inside the Genesis? I'm guessing because if they kind of rewrote the system, they could have made it more powerful.
That was one of their. I think there was the expansion ports and things on there, so they originally planned on all that. But I believe that was one of the reasons they did expand it, is because they had to add another motherboard to it to handle it. So everything ran through the original Genesis. That's where it got its power and its display capabilities. But it needed basically a whole nother system.
Wait, you're saying it's kind of like the box that you get for PSVR? Where you need a whole other system to run the headset?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
craziness.
But I mean,
good job, Sony.
And then the PlayStation comes out and just kind of wrecks whatever Sony was trying, or whatever Sega was trying to do, and then the PS2 becomes the biggest
thing of all time.
Well, wasn't the PlayStation originally supposed to be?
So Nintendo and PlayStation partnered. So the only there's a Did You Know Gaming? I don't know if you follow them. I was like, what are you doing?
There's a hair.
Oh,
I think it was
Did You Know Gaming? They have a good one on kind of how this all came about. But basically, Sony and Nintendo partnered. It was called the Nintendo PlayStation. Was the name of the console. And it was supposed to play. It was supposed to play the cartridges from from Nintendo and the CDs from Sony, or were they CDs at that point? They were CDs at that point, CD-ROMs.
Yeah.
I'm guessing at that point.
Early days of PlayStation.
Yeah. So then they did that, and then for whatever reason, Nintendo got cold feet, and at some conference, the next day they talked about the partnership they had with Philips and kind of said, "Fuck you, Sony." So Sony went on, and Sony actually wasn't going to make weren't going to make the PlayStation. It was only a small group of people that kind of pushed it, and now look what it's become.
Now it is the biggest part of their business.
And then the only reason Microsoft is in the gaming industry is because, I can't remember who went to Bill Gates, but somebody went to Bill Gates and said, what if Sony owns a living room? Microsoft wasn't caring about games. So, like, we have PC games. Why do we need to care about that? But DVDs, Blu-rays, eventually, well, they screwed that one up. But, like, DVDs, CDs, like, they're going to own the living room. And that's scary for a company. Like, oh shit, we're just the gaming PC side of things.
We're just an office.
Yeah, we don't have the family. We don't have the home.
Well,
Which is why they focus so heavily on that as well.
Yeah, they screwed that. Don Matrick is fucking things up left, right, and center.
Well, from the very similar story to the Nintendo Sony thing, but from what I heard, and this could just be another part of that, was that Nintendo was like, Sony doesn't make games, why would we partner with them? And they're like, nah, we can do this on our own. So is that very much like Nintendo, like,
and
just
some of
attitude?
Well, some of it came to licensing, because Sony wanted to own the license to every CD game that was made, and Nintendo being Nintendo. Because remember, Nintendo owned the market share in the early 90s. Like, Genesis, yes, took it, but Nintendo was still king of the hill by far and away, just because they were the first one there. Now look at it. But they're not last. And
I think it was Philips that kind of ruined the
CDI was horrible.
I owned one.
It was
my dad bought one. I actually owned one of the rarest non-Nintendo Zelda games. I don't know where it is now. I think my dad gave it away not thinking.
Yeah.
But it was, they gave up. They were like, yeah, you can totally make a Zelda game. So they gave him a voice. It was this like crazy cartoon. Like they made 3 games.
And that's why Nintendo's so protective of their stuff now, is because shit like that, the Mario movie, like
they basically let someone else make the decision. Be like, yeah, let's totally do this, and it completely like tanked. Yeah. And so now they're very much like, we aren't doing anything. It is all ours. We will not let you touch it. And
but you can't do it in a day and age like this.
Right.
Well, they started to open a bit more with the Switch. I think they're allowing more.
We'll see.
But I still don't think they're going to let like their head franchises be controlled by anyone.
No, they'll never do that. One of the things I really, 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 really want back is I want Rare and Nintendo to do something. I don't care what it is. I just want Microsoft to be like.
Well, the thing is, Rare are just not really Rare anymore. They're just like, there's very few people from that original.
Well, that's where
Ukulele.
Yeah, what's the name of them? Playtonic Games is Rare. So that's what's coming out next year. I'm excited. I forgot about that. I kickstarted that. I kickstarted that. So that's coming out. I backed that.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that when you first did that. I'm still like, because I've only done one Kickstarter, and that is already like extending more and more. I'm like, I just dumped money into you, and you have yet to like
not give me anything.
They've updated it, and I understand like because of I kickstarted the it was a battery pack that looked like a Pokedex, and so it was for Pokemon Go. And so I backed that, and when the Samsung batteries started to pop, apparently like the entire corporation that was making batteries was also helping make batteries for Samsung, so everything got locked down. And so they have had to do like minute and like just almost pure ridiculous testing on a safety side of things. I'm not against that, but it like threw everything for a loop.
Yeah.
And the poor company that like these guys that are just like wanting to make it are like, we're
sorry, we can't do anything. But that's why with like Ukulele, it was supposed to come out in October. It was supposed to be out by now, but I knew when they announced the date it was not going to happen. But what makes me excited what makes me excited though is the fact that they've gone in and they've shown the toy box, and they like IGN was able to show off that. I didn't back the toy box level. I just got the game. I didn't want to go any higher because I didn't know
where
it would be worth it or not. So watching that makes me excited though. It's literally Banjo-Kazooie, just a new skin, which is good and bad. I mean, you're doing the same thing. They obviously can't do that over and over and over. They got to change it up.
But they don't do those types of games very often.
But they also did Conker's. Yeah. That's the other thing you got to keep in mind is they did Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I would love picture a Conker's Bad Fur Day on a PS4 because you have a more mature audience. Nintendo at the time, not so mature.
I mean, we already said that Ratchet and Clank did particularly well with the material that they had available to them in the PS4.
Loved Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, so that
the remake,
that style,
not the remake. No, I was just there for the rise of Ratchet.
I love I've never played it until
the
PS4
newest
version.
one is incredibly beautiful.
Yeah,
like it is.
And
I've watched everything I possibly can about that.
Did you watch Level2Gamers.com?
Maybe. But that was kind of like the rise and fall of was it Crash Bandicoot as Sony, and then Ratchet and Clank came and just completely took over that corporation as a this is where we want to be.
And you had Jack and Daxter too.
Jack and Daxter,
but they never did as well.
Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
Sly Cooper. They had these massive characters that they had driven, but I think Ratchet and Clank is the only one that has stuck around, because the other ones have slowly kind of drifted into something else. Because Jack and Daxter 3 wasn't so much Jack and Daxter or Jack and Daxter 2. It turns into a pseudo racing game.
And it's also because they maybe not the same developers are doing them too.
Right.
It's crazy to think that Naughty Dog did Crash Bandicoot, the same company that did Uncharted and then The Last of Us made this fucking animated Bandicoot back in the day. And
some companies will surprise you.
I really want them to go back.
The company that did all of the I forget their name. They did all of the God of War games on the PSP, and they were the ones that made The Order, which as shitty as that may have turned out to be in some aspects, was a hell of a game. And considering that their prior experience was all just Vita games and porting kind of an original series anyway, that was super impressive that they could pull that out. So.
Keegan, are you trying to say you want to make games great again?
God, no. I want Naughty Dog to make whether it's the 25th anniversary, I want them to make another Crash Bandicoot game.
I want them to make a VR game.
A VR Crash Bandicoot Warped?
Dude, you get so dizzy because you'd spin. That's my spinning animation. But no,
that it's an animation.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a noise. It does.
That's a seizure. Is what that is.
No, I only played Crash Bandicoot when I went to hotels because I never had a PlayStation. So they had this weird controller that had all the buttons for every controller imaginable from the Sheraton. By the way, Sheraton Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. I used to go there all the time.
Spons, but not spons. Wish was spons.
By Sheraton?
You know.
They're all right. They have nice shower heads.
I like free hotels.
We should get sponsored by them. I say their name.
You're the only person that drinks that.
I know, but
you don't even know how to pronounce it.
I don't.
It's bye.
But it's good. It's bye. Say it's bye.
Bye.
It's bye antioxidant.
Baby.
So.
Well, it's like the Sony PlayStation PS2 TVs. You ever see those?
No.
Oh yeah. So they came out these line of TVs that had a PlayStation built into the base. So you just hit a button and you can play all your games from the TV. So you didn't actually have to do anything.
Wow.
That's dope.
Yeah. Sony they really tried to push.
Well, Sony owns TVs.
Well, yeah. I mean, they tried to merge so much. They only made a few hundred of those guys.
I want the Walkman PS4.
Cool idea,
You get a portable one. You just put some cool little ugly headphones on. You walk around. You can listen to your games. Cool soundtracks.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
There we go.
There's a guy that I follow. I don't think he does them anymore. But he was classic gaming. It was his thing. It was a character that the guy played, Keith Apicary, and he did that where he would walk around with a Sega and a Sega CD and listen to his tunes. He's like, it's great for portable on-the-go action. And he was really big into the Sega Nomad, and it was just these stupid little videos, but people wanted to do stuff like that, whereas I have the CD player, I'm going to take it with me, but it's I have to take a controller, but people were completely fine with it when that was the norm. Now it's I have to have I have to add something. No, I'm done. I'm not buying
Game
it.
over.
I have to buy a dongle.
Alrighty.
Dongle.
Well, I think I'm sleepy, and you are insane, and you need to do some candy stuff.
Do you want some candy?
Yeah, I mean we could do that. We could end on the candy part, I guess. So you brought some special candy for us.
Yep,
it looks like that one's been pre-chewed.
I'm a little scared.
This is candy from my very first Candy Tuesday. Okay. I brought 2 of each. One except because Keegan.
I can't do spicy. I have medical things going on that is not allowed to eat spicy. So it might kill me. No joke.
So this is German salted licorice.
It looks like a piece of chalk.
So
Cheers.
So these.
I'm scared.
I know, right?
I don't have
Get
a lot of drink
I was
left.
going to get the drink ready. Dude, Tom, you got to go for it. Whole thing.
So it's like a mint candy shell with like traditional black licorice on the inside with like a center.
Woo!
You know, I'm not a licorice guy, but that's not bad.
For me, I didn't like
I don't
it
like
at all.
it. Oh,
I don't think I would buy it as like a casual snack,
that's potent.
but it's definitely not repulsive.
My eyes are literally watering. That was potent. What is this? What am I eating? A brain?
So this one,
Hold on, let me show. I can show the camera.
It's a tumor.
This one looks like a brain.
it's a burnt French
It looks like a
peanuts. So these are just like fresh peanuts with a
brain. Burnt fresh peanuts?
French peanuts. Sorry.
It's like,
Burnt fresh.
it's like
I burned them just half an hour ago. All right, so it's a peanut.
It's a good peanut.
You have allergies?
not peanuts.
I'm gonna find out now.
Hey, I texted him well before this,
Yeah.
so he if he had forgotten, then it's on him, not
Pepper
me.
Jack. I can't do.
It's not easy to chew, though, is it?
No, not at all.
Tasty though. Just
Yeah,
actually,
I feel like that. So France,
Not
you
bad.
win. France, you win.
burnt
Beats
French
Domains.
peanut is so far the winner.
So these were actually my favorite. They're Boston baked beans. So they're a peanut in a savory shell.
Baked beans.
okay.
Will it make you fart?
No,
Okay.
not that my wife has told me at least.
Oh, I expected that to be harder.
Yeah, they're soft
Yeah.
and they actually taste really good. Like there's a sweetness to them, but also like a slight like savory notion to it. But
I'm
like
trying to think what it tastes like. It tastes. I've had like. It tastes like something I've had before.
I like it. It's like it's almost like a peanut M&M.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
softer. That's what I said. I expected it to be harder when I ate it. Like I expected it to be crunchy.
Good
It was
shot.
not.
And then this last one is the
I can't eat that.
Benny Q Mango Extreme. So it's a mango lollipop. It has 3 different like sections that I didn't see when I did the video originally. But it is basically salt and chili powder on the outside.
Tom's big bite. Just gotta take a big
And
bite out of that.
when they make it, the place is so dusty that the actual stick gets coated in the stuff, so it gets everywhere. So
We mentioned that Tom was okay over there. Tom was motion sick earlier. Don't die.
I'm really gonna regret this. So
No, you're not. It's gonna be great.
So-
Are you sure I can eat this?
Yeah.
yes, it is edible.
I meant more so like not that it was edible. That like it looks like it's hard to get a hold of. I didn't want to ruin it.
Oh no,
You've had one, right?
Yeah, no, there was a box of them at the store I bought.
Okay.
them.
Tom, just eat the fucking thing.
Well, I don't know how to open it.
So
Keegan,
it's-
you open it for me.
Wait, hit the mic. There you go.
So the
I
funny
don't
thing
like
is,
that you open that so fast.
Eat the fucking thing, Tom.
So the funny thing is, the actual lollipop is in the shape of the mango guy, so you can see eyeballs
Is
on
it?
it.
I'll eat it.
No, you
I'll
sure?
eat it. Yeah. Yeah.
How about you take a bite and I'll take a bite?
I can't bite it. Woo!
Well, I'm not gonna suck it after you've
It
sucked
tastes
it.
like cardboard.
You were supposed to bite it.
I can't.
It's a hard candy.
Yeah.
Well, get better teeth. Your baby teeth have to fall out at some point.
Oh god, it tastes like cardboard.
Well, no, that's your
Oh god, I'm gonna throw up.
all the way down.
Suck it.
All the way
Suck it.
down. Keep doing it.
Dude, I seriously might throw up. This
Yay!
one loses.
First vomit on a podcast.
Ready? Nope. Nope.
Oh wow. All right, you don't have to worry about it then. I'm glad I didn't have to do that.
God, that
You could taste some of the stick.
it's what the fucking candy tastes like. It tastes like
It's-
it's
so-
like wood and cardboard. Like,
Judging from your reaction,
Oh
I
my
think
God, that
I'm
was
happy
gross.
to give that a pass.
So the powder on the outside, if you can get past that, my wife assures me that it tastes like a candied mango, but I don't like mango in the beginning.
I like mango. See,
I do, but I don't. Oh god, that
Could
is,
do, like,
I don't
rinse
understand
it
how
and-
mango and chili work together in any
So-
They
size,
don't.
shape, or form.
And that's the beauty of
oh my god.
candy from Mexico is that they put chili
They
powder
have no
on everything.
safety.
So like the other one I did was watermelon flavor.
Watermelon and chili?
Yes, it was the same candy coating or the same powder coating, but with over watermelon.
I guess they're just used to it.
Yeah.
I think that the culture is based around a lot of spices, and this is just me like projecting like how I see all their candy. I grew up in Las Vegas. All that candy was very apparent to me. Like, this is all the stuff I grew up on, not like consuming it, just friends doing it. So there's actually the same powder as this. They have like in a jelly form that you squeeze out of like a pencil shape. And like people love it. Like people just eat the stuff out of it.
I'm literally crying right now. That was gross. Like my gag reflex when I was not.
Yeah, I tried 2 of those.
How? I can't even get I couldn't even lick it. Like I couldn't get past the first. Oh my god. Mexico. You have weird candy. At least this, whatever.
I quite like
called.
Some of the other
Benny.
stuff. It was alright. I didn't. The licorice was better than I expected
Benny
it to be.
Mango Extreme. Yeah, licorice. Not the licorice was the second. The bean. The bean was probably the best.
There's another one if you want it.
I will.
Okay.
The bean was.
Do you
probably
want
the
it?
best one.
No, I hate them.
You don't like them?
No, it tastes better if it was
I don't even like
Tom, you
licorice.
want this?
Definitely don't want that.
God.
I would have.
Did you seriously
if
get
you
through one
did
of these?
slobber all over it.
Yeah, I did 2 of them. Just watch
On
the video.
video?
Yeah, just
Is
watch
the video
it.
up?
Yeah,
Like right now?
yeah.
We can
It's
link
up.
to it.
It'll be up. It'll be up last week. Well,
Can we link to
it'll be
it?
from last week. We can link to it. We have the ability. We can either put the link down. We'll put the link down.
You're doing post on
in
this,
the
right?
bot, in the botch, in the box. It's going to say in the crotch box
Also, if you if you're listening to us,
up here in the corner.
if you're listening to us like Degrado does, hi Degrado.
Hi,
Hey,
James.
Greta.
Oh God.
Then you wouldn't have got to see some of the visual representations of candy there. So do remember we have a video form of this podcast as well. So if you want to actually see the candy and see Keegan almost vomit, then you can watch the video.
Oh my God! Seriously,
as well.
You can watch it in full. We'll have the full form, and I'll probably make this a part. Dude.
We should explain the video thing real quick. So can I explain it? Do you mind?
Go.
Because you look, you don't look so good. So
That was gross.
people have been a little confused about it. So you have one full vidcast, which is basically like an hour long or whatever, and that's the whole show, everything that we did, the whole thing. But for YouTube, as a sort of a special YouTube thing, we also break down the sections into like our beginning section where we talk about what we've been doing, etc. The question section, or bonus level as it's now known, and also just ending stuff like what you're doing later, but also
we might do a special thing at the end. We might
just make
not this.
Make you test more.
Dude, we're not doing
more
candy.
Weird things. Sure.
No, we'll have something at the end.
We need to have you.
We have a go-to guy for weird candy, so
I'll be on his show at some point. You better have a puke bucket ready. I have a real bad gag reflex. I forgot to tell you guys that.
wow.
It makes it better.
There you go.
No,
Because I have...
dude, that seriously, like, it's still in my mouth, and it just like...
Because I have 4 different flavored, expired ramen flavors coming in.
Oh, God.
One of them
Why would you buy them expired?
Because it makes it better.
How?
So they're rare flavors that came out over a year ago.
Okay.
One that I'm super excited for is corn portage. It's like corn stew. Yeah.
Oh God.
And so
expired corn stew.
Yeah, in a
Speaking
soft
of
drink
drizzled,
form.
that sounds better than that.
In a soft drink? You have to drink it?
Yeah, it's a soda. It's the ramen, like the marble drinks you get from the Asian markets.
No, not at all.
Yep,
That sounds gross.
That's they do. I'm still trying to find a eel soda. It's basically grilled eel in a soda.
Tom,
Is it actually in there in the bottle?
It's the
Like tequila worms?
it's the eel juice.
Not so much that. It's basically like cooked down and then added to soft drink. So it's like a gel. So it's black.
Well,
Tom,
God,
we're never doing that.
We're probably never doing that.
we're
But
never doing that. You can check out Dream Saga.
yeah, let's talk about that. So if you dig
His wife made this.
the idea, that's true. My wife did make that. If you dig the idea of weird candies and getting a little rundown on where they're from, what they taste like, and then I'm assuming you eat them,
Oh yeah.
right?
Make weird faces.
Or just in general, the Dream Saga, the vlogs and things like that. Where do they have to go to?
YouTube.com/the Dream Saga Studio.
The Dream Saga Studio. And they can check out Cody and all of his wonderful, weird, and bizarre things there.
You I can't. That was gross. Like I went into this like, cool, let's try some. That one was
So
that one was bad.
I have
You found my
actually
kryptonite.
silenced Keegan.
You silenced Keegan. We find out a way to shut Keegan the hell up, and that is
Chili powder.
whatever the hell this thing is.
Lick
this thing.
Lick
It
the
is
stick.
So gross.
Tom, lick the stick.
Oh, do I
Just
have
lick
to?
it.
Yes, lick
Just
the
lick
stick,
it.
dude.
It's
Call
fine.
me.
You guys have shared things before.
See?
Yeah, this is like wood shavings.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe next time bring
Something better.
something a little different.
I
But-
just want really nice. Just,
it was fun though. It was fun to try that out.
Oh,
Thank you
God.
for sharing this with us.
Fun.
All right, guys. So let's wrap it up. I think so. That makes for episode number 3 of the official Level 2 podcast. Are you still with us?
Traced.
You're like staring at me blankly, like in some kind of a weird haze right now.
Yeah.
take him to the hospital.
I'm sweating now. Like I'm seriously starting to sweat. Like that got to me. But no.
So we
that's
may have triggered Keegan's illness. That's
episode
gonna be
3.
great.
You can listen to it on iTunes if you look. As you search, not look. Well, you can look, but search Level 2 Podcast, Google Play, Level 2 Podcast, SoundCloud. If you do SoundCloud.com/ is it Level 2 Gaming?
Probably.
Oh,
I
no.
don't even know.
Search Level 2 Podcast on SoundCloud, and it's there as well. Or go to level2gamers.com if you want to watch the video of us and see my lovely face when I swallowed that. I just licked it, and it just...
I like that we
Dangerous.
start our weeks off with podcasts now. It's fun for me. I think it's a good time. It's fun that we have guests too that we can
Yeah,
have
Cody's the first official guest.
friends of ours.
On-
Yeah, first guest on the
on
Level 2 podcast. But it also sets a good tone for the week. So
He joked we stole his Vidcast name, by the way, and I said it was your fault.
Vidcast. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I stopped
He had
doing
a-
them, so it's okay.
He had a copy written.
No,
Did
I
you?
didn't. No.
That'd be great.
Did you? You gonna sue us?
I'm tired. But then tomorrow you have our review up, which will be Observance.
Yes.
I believe.
Yep.
Which is a fun little movie. It's a horror movie, and
Hold on, let me pull up my schedule here, and I can tell you what's on Wednesday as well. We actually have a schedule. I know it doesn't look like a lot of times, but we are somewhat efficient.
Wednesday, I
It's
believe
Overcooked.
it is.
It's
Is it
Overcooked.
Overcooked?
Yeah.
That quickly?
Yeah, Wednesday's Overcooked.
Okay,
love
Overcooked
that.
is appropriate
Have you
for
played
this
Overcooked?
episode.
Have you played Overcooked yet?
That's his impression of Overcooked.
Have you played Overcooked?
No.
Dude, you
It's
need to play
fun.
Overcooked.
It's a lot of
It's
fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You should come over and play Overcooked sometime. I feel like you would be a great partner for Overcooked.
He basically
I
turned
yelled at
into
Tom the whole
Gordon
time.
fucking Ramsay
Yeah,
while we were
you'd be
playing.
great. You'd be a great partner for Overcooked.
How'd you guys know I watched
screaming at me.
nothing
And-
but Kitchen Nightmares on that?
And then Thursday's London Heist, which I think is by far the VR game or experience that kind of surprised both of us.
One of the most
Both of
blow
us.
your mind VR experiences. You had a lot of fun. Since you'd played it before, you were having a little bit of a fun time with the gangsters tweaking their nipples and stuff. So that's going to be funny for
He was
Thursday.
doing that. He was doing that like when he first loaded up. The game, he was like,
Just
"How
right
far can I
away.
take this?" Like the guy.
Cody
kept-
was there when I played all these for the first time.
Yeah, I was also there when you punched your lamp.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no video evidence of that. We lost the video. I actually did. What was the Job Simulator?
It was that whole like section where me
No.
and Dave were there that was all gone because like your internet
No,
started freaking
but I'm
out.
trying to think what game I was playing when that happened.
You were playing. It
was
wasn't Job
It was
Simulator.
either London Heist or Jobs. It might have been London Heist when I went to go look out the car.
Yeah, you were doing something and you were like trying to throw something and it was like
Bam!
Yeah, he just punched it as hard as he could and this thing just rocked back and forth and somehow didn't break.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you know what Friday is?
I do.
Literally, I do not know because it has question marks. So we'll figure that out.
Yay!
It's
Friday
literally
surprise.
We weren't joking when we said there's a surprise.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah. I have an idea.
Yeah. But I'd like to thank Cody for coming on to the show. Thank
Yes.
you, buddy.
Again, follow
And,
on the Dream Saga.
Thank all of you for listening and or watching us. And as always, welcome to the second level.
Bye. That shit was gross.
Yeah.